Hi everybody, this is Miss Liz from the Hightstown branch and I'm here for middle grade book club with you. This time we're going to talk about author Saadia Faruqi. So far she's written a handful of early chapter books for younger kids. She's co-authored the book A Place at a Table with Laura Chauvin. She's written her own standalone book called 1,000 Questions. And this fall she's going to release Yusuf, Azim is Not a Hero. The first novel that Saadia Faruqi wrote for middle grade readers is called A Place at the Table, and she co-authored this one with Laura Chauvin. A Place at the Table tells the story of Sarah and Elizabeth, two middle school girls, and it tells their stories in alternating chapters from each girl's point of view. One girl is Jewish and the other one is Muslim. Both girls' mothers are immigrants to America and studying to become U.S. citizens. The girls meet in an after-school cooking class taught by Sarah's mom. Can they put aside their differences and their prejudices about one another to work together and come up with an amazing recipe that will land them a spot on the local cooking show? You'll have to read the book to find out. This book features fun, courageous characters looking for a sense of self. It also has a lot of humor, especially when the little girl's brothers are involved. And it talks about food a lot, so have a couple snacks handy when you're reading this one. The second novel written by Saadia Faruqi is called 1,000 Questions, and I will let the author herself tell you more about that one.
Hello, I'm Saadia Faruqi, and I'm so happy to welcome you to 1,000 Questions Book Club. This is a middle grade novel about unlikely friendships and about achieving impossible dreams. It's a story of Mimi, an American girl who travels to Pakistan for the summer to meet her grandparents for the first time. She hates it there in the beginning, because it's too hot and the food is too spicy and everything is different. It's also the story of Sakina, a servant in Mimi's grandparents' house. Sakina can't believe she has to serve this spoiled American girl who's arrived for the summer, who can't do anything. She can't even speak the language of her ancestors properly. Soon though, the two become friends and they realize that they can help each other achieve their seemingly impossible dreams. Mimi's searching for her dad who left them when she was little, and Sakina wants to learn English so she can finally leave her job and go to school. But there is so much that stands in the way of these dreams. They seem impossible to both girls and to their families. I hope that you read this book to find out the answers to the girls' thousands of questions. You know, I wrote this book during my own recent summer vacation to Pakistan, where I grew up. And when you read it, you'll see a lot of the sights and the sounds, the places and the foods that are special to me. I hope you enjoy it. Happy reading.
Another important aspect to 1,000 Questions is Mimi's journal. She's given it by her mom at the beginning of the summer vacation to write down any summer memories. She uses it to write letters to her father, who she hasn't seen in 7 years. At the end of this video, I'll show you how to make your own journal using construction paper, printer paper, either glue, staples, or hole puncher and string, and anything that you want to decorate it. And that way you can record your own summer memories. Another important aspect of 1,000 Questions is that it includes a glossary of Urdu and Arabic words at the end. Urdu is the official language of Pakistan. Saadia Faruqi has a new book scheduled to be published in September 2021 titled Yusuf, Azim is Not a Hero. This is another book for middle grade readers, and it follows the story of Yusuf and his Muslim family who live in a small town in Texas. He wants to participate in the regional robotics competition, and things get difficult for him and his family as the U.S. plans for the 20th anniversary of September 11th, 2001. This book will look at questions of identity and belonging and bullying, and is a very good option for readers who are interested in realistic fiction. But who is this author? Who is Saadia Faruqi, the woman behind the books? She was born in Karachi, Pakistan. She now lives in Houston, Texas with her husband and children. And in addition to the middle grade novels that we've talked about here, she has written essays and a beginner chapter book series, the Yasmin series, and a collection of adult short stories. And Saadia Faruqi is also the editor-in-chief of Blue Minaret, a magazine for Muslim art, poetry, and prose. To make your own journal, you'll need construction paper of any color. If you don't have construction paper, a thick paper like cardstock would be good. Some printer paper. If you don't have that, you can use regular lined paper. And either glue, a stapler, a hole puncher. This is one of those 3-hole punchers, or you can have one of the single hole punchers and just do 2-hole punches, and things to decorate with. So stickers, stamps, markers, colored pencils, whatever you've got. So the first thing we're going to do is make our paper into the journal. So we'll start with our cover. And we're going to fold that in half like a book. You want to make sure it's nice and lined up. And then you're going to press down on the edges. And then you're going to take your sheets of paper. You don't want to have too many. I think I have about 4 here. And you're going to want to fold them. You can always do more, but what I would do is I would fold them in chunks of 4. So do this chunk and put it in there, and then do another set and lay it next to it. I wouldn't fold them all together because that's going to be hard to go to either staple through or punch a hole through. All right, so you can see it fits inside. And then now you need to attach everything. So it would be best to do a stapler or a hole puncher with ribbon. If you don't have either of those, you can do glue, but you're going to want to put glue in between all the pages because you don't want them to fall out in here. So I'm going to staple mine, but if you were going to do a hole puncher, you would do that at this time, and you'd want to get about 2 holes. You want to make sure everything is nice and lined up in that back fold, and get 2 holes, and then either put a pipe cleaner or a ribbon or something to fasten it all together. So I'm going to do staples. Okay, now the tricky thing with the staples is on the back, you have the end of the staples. I don't know how you can see that. So you might want to, if you have some tape, clear tape or duct tape or something, to put over it, either decorate it or just kind of leave it alone, but you don't want to accidentally get caught on that while you're pulling your journal in and out. And then the last thing you'll want to do is decorate it. So like I said, if you've got rubber stamps, if you've got stickers, if you've got crayons, markers, colored pencils, anything you've got, you can decorate it. You can leave it blank and decorate it as you go. Whatever you think is going to work. You can use this as a journal. You can even use it as a sketchbook, right? And you can draw things in it. You can use it as something to write down some lists and keep track of things that you need to do over the summer. Whatever you think would be helpful, a little planner or something. So I'm going to throw a few more stickers on here, some penguins, because I love penguins. And then think about what you want your journal to be. A fun thing to do would be to put the date on it somewhere, or at least, summer 2021. And then if you find it in a couple years from now, you can look back and see what you were writing about or drawing about, what your life was like at that time. So that's always a fun thing. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this journal craft, and stay tuned for a few more suggested activities and websites from Saadia Faruqi. Hope you liked the craft of making your own journal. If you want to learn more, there's recommended websites listed here. These are recommended by the author herself. And the first one has you learning more about Pakistan, which is where 1,000 Questions is set. The second link lets you virtually visit tourist attractions in Karachi, including some mentioned in the book 1,000 Questions. The third link will take you to the YouTube channel for Coke Studio, which has a lot of Urdu songs. And remember, we said Urdu is the official language of Pakistan. And the last link will let you take a quiz and see how many questions about Pakistan you can answer. So those are just some more fun ways to get into the books a little bit more. And we also have a couple of recommended activities that the author recommended. You can make bun kebab, which is a spicy vegetarian burger that the two girls eat in the book 1,000 Questions. You can draw or design your own funny t-shirt. Mimi, the main character in 1,000 Questions, loves to wear t-shirts with funny pictures and sayings on them. And Sakina, who does not speak English as her first language, has trouble understanding some of them and thinking that they're pretty silly. Or you can draw and design your own rickshaw. Mimi and her mother travel to the mall by a special type of public transport called a rickshaw. And you can see a picture of that here. You can do some research on the rickshaw and then draw and color your own. And lastly, we are going to have a virtual live Q&A session with Saadia Faruqi. So on Monday, August 2nd, from 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., you can ask Saadia Faruqi your questions. You can ask her questions about her books, where she gets ideas for her writings. You can even ask her what her favorite food is. We will be doing this live on GoToMeeting video conferencing software, which is a lot like Zoom. So it's going to be a virtual interactive question and answer session. And you need to register ahead of time online at https://tinyurl.com/author Saadia.